In this video, I'll show you how to take data from Excel in the form of latitude and longitude and place it into ArcMap. Now, it's important when we bring this data in that everything's in the correct format and you're able to collect that data correctly. So if you come to Google Maps and just click anywhere in Google Maps, you'll see that the little marker will show up. And when that marker shows up in the bottom there, you're going to see latitude and longitude. These items right here, the fire departments and police station, has been identified by using that. Now, when you use Google Maps, this is built off of the WGS 1984 datum, and that'll become important in a second. So we want to take this data and then transfer it into ArcMap. A couple things here. It's really important that you not have any extra spaces in here. If there's a space in the numerical data, it will read it as a text file. So one of the things you can do here is if you hit Control F and you basically just hit space, so that find any space and replace it with nothing. So you can go through and replace those. Do note it will take the spaces out of any names you have, things like that. But if there is an issue with importing this data, it will be because of those spaces. So go ahead and close this, and this data is all prepped and ready to go into ArcMap. When we save it, we want to save as we want to save it as a 97 2003 file, and the reason for that is that call it 03 here. The reason is that ArcMap does not accept the XLSX files, the new version of Microsoft Excel, and so it needs to be placed in here. There is some workaround, but this is the easiest way to get that data in. So now that that's been saved, we're going to go over to ArcMap and come to my catalog. I will refresh, and I've got this new Bozeman data here. You can expand that data, and there will be a sheet that has my information that's been listed in there, and I'm just going to bring that over. Notice that it does not come in spatially, but it only comes into the table of contents right away. Now, just as a note, if you are getting an error that looks like this, it says failed to connect to database, class not registered, this is because this was saved as an XLSX file and not in the 97 2003 version. So if you're getting that error, you need to go back and make sure that it's saved as the 97 to 2003 workbook. Once your data is here and listed, ready to go, we're going to go to display that data. And when we do this, notice that the longitude and latitude will be the X and Y field that will be listed. We didn't have any elevation that comes in here, so it'll just be X and Y data. Now we're going to look at the description. The geographic coordinate system is GCS WGS 1984, and so that is the system that was used to collect that data in maps, as I mentioned. And so we're going to go ahead and visualize that. And so those data points come in like this. Now if I put a base map in, just grab satellite imagery and let that come in, and the world imagery comes in, but you're going to notice that nothing actually comes into the view frame. And if I zoom out, you're going to find that these data points do not actually come into the viewport at all. So what's important here is as I move my cursor in the bottom right hand corner, you're going to see down here, you're going to see that it's -11 and then 45 meters. So when this data was brought in, it got brought in terms of a projected coordinate system rather than the geographic coordinate system. So I purposely put through and created this error because many of you will run into it. What needs to happen here is we need to, first off, we're just going to delete this layer again, get it out of here. And we're going to go back to our layers and our properties. And currently you're going to see that the layer that's selected is the 1984 Web Mercator. So this is actually a projected coordinate system. So what's happening is that this, if we go to general, you're going to see that the map is displaying in meters. But we wanted to input that data as longitude and latitude. So anytime you're in a projected coordinate system, it's going to be in terms of feet or meters or linear distances. If you want to import data in the format of longitude and latitude, you have to change this to a geographic coordinate system. So we'll come to the world, and we're referencing WGS 1984, hit OK. Now if I bring in my data again, and I go ahead and I display the XY data, longitude, latitude, and notice now that there's no projection for it, it's just a geographic coordinate system, and we'll hit OK. And now I'm going to zoom to that layer, and now that data does in fact come in in the correct location. Just so you can visualize it a little better, there are our 4 points listed for Bozeman. So do make sure that you have the right geographic coordinate system listed and not a projected coordinate system there. Next, in order to have this file ready to go, we do need to do one more step, which is under data. Go ahead and export that data. This is going to create a specific shape file that is editable. Currently we don't have this as an editable source here, and I'm gonna place this under the 303 database as EMS, and I will change that to a shapefile. We'll go ahead and save that, and then we'll add that. Once that's added, now you can see that the EMS file is there. All that data is spatially recognized, and if I come in and look at the attribute table, you can see that the fire and police stations are listed here, so I could go ahead and categorize, or in the symbology I could change how those are visualized based on that. That's it for adding data to ArcMap from Excel.